Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Profitable Mindset Podcast.
Welcome to the Profitable Mindset, a show dedicated to teaching you the skills you need to build a profitable product-based business that makes you feel free and fully in control. Here is your host, Charlotte Smith.
Hey, you guys, welcome to episode number 41, all about how to make your marketing and subsequent sales super easy and a no-brainer for people to buy from you. I am super excited to teach this and to have this episode today because I love marketing. I've been teaching marketing for many years to farmers who have gone on to have great successes. As a matter of fact, I just got off a coaching call with someone and she set her goal at $1 million in sales. We worked up that plan based on episode number 40, the 10-year plan. And this client is so well on her way to reaching it. When you work through that plan, you can see exactly how it's going to happen. And that is super fun for me to help someone come up with a goal and then coach them on all the things they need to do to get there, then watch them implement it step by step until voila, it's there. They don't get there with, it's not totally without pain. Of course, there's a lot of failure on the way to that $1 million goal, if that's what your goal is. But you can learn how to do it with ease and face those problems and challenges and struggles with ease. And one of those struggles a lot of people come to me and complain about is selling and marketing. So I know COVID kind of made sales really easy for a lot of people. Some of you, it is still going on. Demand is still high because of scarcity. So people are buying for that reason. At a certain point, though, you're going to have to get back to marketing your products. It won't be so easy. Some of you have already found that people have gone back to the stores and you're having trouble selling. So today's episode is going to help you. Okay, first of all, though, I want to take a moment and pause because I have a new training for you. This episode is sponsored by my new training all about how to get your email inbox to zero. This is something that has been I've given to my Farm Marketing from the Heart students in the past, pulled it out of that course, and I'm giving it to you for free. It will unburden you tremendously when you learn how to organize your email inbox in the way that I do, or multiple inboxes, if the case may be. So be sure to jump over and get that free training. That is at 3cowmarketing.com/0, ZERO. So sign up and get that. You're going to get an email with a video in it of me showing you exactly how to do it, and then a PDF checklist too. You are going to feel so free and unburdened and in control when you get your inbox to zero. And then every day when you go in your inbox and you see just a few handful of emails that have come in that day and you know how to process them immediately and you maintain your inbox at zero, it's crazy how your life starts to clear up. This is all in anticipation of, I have an amazing new time management mastery course coming out in September. So this is going to set you up to be successful there. So be sure to get it. All right. So let's get back to episode 41. A lot of people tell me that they feel like they're pushing their products on people, or they will tell me, I just hate convincing people to buy my products. I feel like I have to convince them of why it's important to buy farm fresh or local, or why our products have to be higher than the grocery store. And they say, I'm so sick of trying to force my products on people. So what I want to tell you, though, is that is not what selling is. And when you learn what I have for you today, you'll start to see so much more possibility so that you can finally enjoy marketing and selling. And if you didn't already know this episode is part 5 in my summer business series. It started with episode number 37. These episodes and the ones coming up in the next few weeks are everything you need to know how to build a super successful multi-million-dollar business if you want. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's hard. That's what I started off with in episode 37. But listen to the whole series, or they're meant to be listened to one by one too. They are standalone, but they also work together no matter what stage of farming you're in. If you're a brand new farmer, or if you haven't started your business yet, or if you've been at it for years, the things I'm talking about in this business series will help you. Okay, so here's what I want to tell you about what marketing is and what selling is. Marketing and selling is serving people. It's helping people. Okay, it's serving and helping. It's not shoving things in front of people, hoping that they buy from you or convincing them to come back and buy from you. But when you learn to market and sell the way I teach, it feels like you're helping people. It feels to them like you're helping them. And therefore, sales happen with way more ease than what most of you are telling me you're experiencing. So in the last episode, number 40, you created this incredibly valuable thing, this product or service, or maybe it's an experience at your farm, right? You created something that's incredibly valuable, but people don't know about it yet, or at least not enough people. Maybe it's just kind of floating out there in air. You're hoping people will buy this thing you're producing. Now you've got to get to work selling it. And how you do that is you're going to learn in today's episode to give them results ahead of time. You're going to learn to help them and serve them with your product or your service or the experience you created. So offering to help them so that they will buy from you and they don't even consider what the price is becomes so easy when you do what I call give them results ahead of time. So if marketing is serving people, then I like to think of sales as closing the deal. Like you offer them to buy this thing and they are super excited to close that deal. They want to close the deal and exchange their value, which we talked about last episode, which is their money for the value you created. It's a fair exchange and they're excited to do it because of the value you've created. And here's what I'm going to teach you how to do. I'm going to teach you how to give people results ahead of time so they don't even have to wonder if your product can help them. They already know you can help them. Then you don't have to sell anything. You don't have to feel spammy or salesy. There's no convincing. There's no forcing. There's no finagling another dollar out of someone. Sales become a natural byproduct of you serving your customers or potential customers. Then sales become enjoyable and you feel really, really good about helping people. And here's how this works for me. When I hire people to work in my farm store, I don't hire them to sell. I tell them that. I say, you do not have to sell a thing. You're just going to show people how what we do and what we produce helps them. You're going to help them in our farm store. You're not going to tell them our products help them, but you're actually going to help them. Then what happens is our products walk out the door. And I mean, people don't even look at the price. They just throw money at you and our products walk out the door. Now, my farm store employees don't truly understand this until they start working here. And then they have their first mindset shift. They're like, oh my gosh, people love coming here and they're pushing money into my hands. And sometimes they even give me too much and tell me to keep the change. It is so exciting to work here. This is because we've gotten really good at giving people results ahead of time, just what I'm teaching you today. So it becomes a no-brainer and their results are so important to them that money is not even a concern anymore. The price doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you give people results ahead of time because they already know the value of your product. So again, you don't have to sell. You don't have to convince anyone of anything. And what happens is they're like, heck yeah, give me that thing. Take my money. I want more. I want 10. And here's a tip for you. I'm surprised at how many people tip my employees, like $10, $20. And these are not wealthy people. These are just average people. Since my husband's a teacher, we have a lot of teachers where it's one income family, maybe mom's home with the kids, dad's a teacher, and they still prioritize farm fresh food. So this is not wealthy people that are coming and buying your products and not paying attention to the price. This is how the average person shops when you show them results ahead of time, when you give them an experience ahead of time. When you do this, when you learn to do what I'm teaching you today, you're going to be very successful very quickly. Let me teach you how to do this. You show people you can help them by actually helping them have a transformation. This might be as simple as maybe they're trying to feed their family and avoid processed foods. They're trying to figure out how to have more home-cooked meals, and you teach them how to make burgers for their family or something in the Instant Pot, super simple. Maybe you have a video tutorial on how to shape the burger. There's this funny thing. I've learned through talking with some of my customers that there are a lot of people that hate touching raw meat. Isn't that strange? For farmers, it's kind of strange because we grew up this way, right? But the rest of society is often socialized to eat out of packages. Food is processed for most people. So the idea of touching raw meat kind of makes them sick. And I have friends in my life who only buy processed meat, like sliced deli turkey and sliced deli ham. And that's what they live off of because they hate touching raw meat. Well, if you sell meat, you're going to have to figure out how to get over this or get them over this. Super easy. You think you might need to change them in order to get more people to buy your meat. Like, well, my ideal customer likes to touch raw meat. But guess what? You don't have to change people at all. They can hold on to their fetish of not liking to touch raw meat. So how can you do this? How can you serve them right where they are? Well, some of our best sellers were beef patties already made up in advance and our beef sausages. So our butcher didn't really do hot dogs, but he would do these beef sausages that we just kind of sold them as, use them like hot dogs. And I would do video tutorials on how to cook a hamburger without even touching the raw meat or cook the sausages same way. Put them on the bun, throw on some ketchup and mustard, and they've got dinner, grass-fed beef sausages, grass-fed beef burgers. They're not eating fast food anymore, and they didn't have to get over their fear of touching raw meat. So I know this is so simple, you guys, but this is huge. This is what's going to make hundreds of pounds of beef walk out of your farm store if that's what you sell. So how can you show them something like this in a video? This could be a video you put onto YouTube and your blog and send out in an email, or this could be a quick live video on Facebook. This could be an Instagram video, an Instagram story, all three of those. So what I do a lot of is I will do my live video on Facebook first, and then I will transcribe it to a YouTube video. You can just Google that. It's really easy to do. So then all of a sudden I've got it on Facebook, I have it on YouTube, and now I can post it on my blog, and now I can email it out. So there I've repurposed it 4 different ways with one little Facebook Live. So that's an easy way to do a video. Now, why would I do this? Well, this is what's going to get a whole segment of the population buying meat from me that is afraid to touch raw meat and is not used to buying fresh meat. All right. And this is giving them results ahead of time. They watch my video. They're like, oh, that's so cool. I can have grass-fed beef. I don't even have to touch it. Okay. I know it's a crazy idea, but there are a lot of people out there like this. Now, say you have a dairy. What are results ahead of time that you can give people so that they will seek you out and go out of their way to buy from you and pay more money than the grocery store? Well, your ideal customer interviews are full of this information for you. Here's one. People often tell me that it's on their bucket list to make butter. So it's a no-brainer. They come in our farm store. I hand them a jar with some cream in it. They shake it up a little bit. We take turns shaking it for a few minutes. I have a strainer right there. I pull the butter out. I put it on a cracker. They eat it and they're like, whoa, I just made butter. Something I've wanted to do my whole life. I just did it. And I'm the one that gave them that experience. I gave them that result ahead of time. And the next thing is, well, how much cream can I buy from you? I want a gallon of cream and here's $100 bill. And again, these are not wealthy elite people. These are people who are having experiences and they're getting results from something they've only dreamed of, and then they can't wait to buy our product because of that. You're not stealing from people. You're not convincing people to buy your product. You're not trying to prove anything to them like, oh, grass-fed is better than whatever, and GMO-free is better than this or that. You don't have to prove any of that. All you have to do is give them results ahead of time, like I'm talking about here, and then buying is a no-brainer for them, and selling is very easy for you. You never have to feel like you're hard selling people ever. Okay, here's another thing we did on our farm that was genius. And of course, like most genius ideas I have, I had no idea how genius it was until afterward. Not all my ideas are that genius, but this one, I couldn't believe it. It's completely unrelated to our products, but it made selling them as easy as pie. I started a book club in a Facebook group for the women in our farm store. It very quickly grew to women all over the United States. Now, this is a book club, and we weren't reading farming books, okay? We were reading books that my ideal customer is interested in. What's that have to do with my farm products? You could say nothing, but I would say it had everything to do with them. People are looking for connection and relationship. They don't drive an hour one way to our farm to buy a gallon of milk and an expensive chicken just for the heck of it. They're coming because of the relationship they have often gotten from me online before ever having met me, like something like being in a book club with me. People are looking for new ideas. They're looking for personal growth. They're looking to feel better in life. So created this book club for our customers. Like, hey, ladies, let's connect. We love seeing you once a week. I only have a couple minutes to chat with you. Let's do this book club where we can chat for longer. So I jumped in Facebook once a week. I went live on camera. I would choose the book, and it was usually something like a Brené Brown book or something that everyone was interested in. And I read the book. I would jump in there with my daughter. Now, my daughter is almost 27, and so I'm double her age. And we would have a conversation about Brené Brown's book. And my daughter's younger than me, so we'd discuss a concept from her perspective. She'd give her perspective on it. And then I would talk about my perspective as a woman in my 50s. People loved this. They'd watch us live. They would comment. We had so much fun. They went crazy over our book club on Facebook. That meant they felt amazing. They felt connected to us. They trusted us with all they have. And what did they want to do then? The people who were in driving distance of our farm couldn't wait to drive out here and throw money at us. Not kidding you. This is an example of providing value ahead of time, providing results ahead of time through personal transformation, so that by the time you make them an offer that you have something to buy, there's never any convincing. There's never any demonstrating that it might work. They already know and trust you, and know and trust that without a doubt you can help them because you gave them results ahead of time, even though, like in this case, it wasn't about my products. It didn't matter. I didn't have to tell them about our product or how it was so valuable or how it was grown or my farming practices. Those things don't connect with our customers anyway. I didn't have to convince them to buy from small local farmers. And you won't have to do any of that either. You give them a transformation right there in front of you, whether it's through your written word or through a video or photos. Whatever it is, they're reading your material. They have this experience. It doesn't have to be a book club like ours. It can be a testimonial of another customer. They can't wait to buy from you. Now, for you flower farmers, what this might look like is a live video or an Instagram story on how to arrange a simple summer bouquet. Or maybe you do a video tutorial on how to make your flowers last for twice as long as they normally do. Or in the fall, it might be a tutorial on how to have a gorgeous but simple holiday table arrangement. Whatever it is, you're giving them results ahead of time before they ever even bought from you. And this is what makes them want to buy from you. And some of you will think, wait, well, if I give them results ahead of time, if I teach them how to make the cheese before they've ever met me, why will they come to me? This is why, because you gave them the results ahead of time. Now they know, like, and trust you with ever having met you. They show up and buy from you. And this is the science of marketing. It's you showing up, offering to help people for free. And once you've established know, like, and trust, and then you offer your products for them to buy with a hefty profit margin built in, they're excited to exchange their value, which is money, for your value, which is the product and the transformation you've given them and shown them ahead of time. And the result you've given them is far more valuable than any money. Now, let's talk for a moment about Facebook ads here. So your Facebook ad is not to sell. Remember, I talk about that in my social media episodes. Facebook, Instagram, it's not a place to sell. It's a place to be social. Otherwise, you get penalized and you will be set back if you try to sell all the time without putting money on it. So what I would love to encourage you to do is create an ad on one of these tutorials or demos that we've talked about here today that gets them this transformation ahead of time, gets them results ahead of time. They get value from your video when they watch it or your post when they read it. They had to opt in to get on your email list in order to get it. And they have gotten results ahead of time. Now they're on your email list so that you can warm them up in order to turn them into paying customers. So they start out on Facebook as people who may never have heard of you and never have bought from you. All right. Then through that, they get on your email list. I teach you how to do this funnel inside Farm Marketing from the Heart. And they're receiving info from you consistently once a week. Very soon, within weeks or months, they will become a paying customer. So remember, on social media, you're not placing ads to sell your product. That will get you very little return. You're placing ads to transform their lives. They get on your email list and they can't wait to come buy from you. Okay? Now, if not online or on social media, it could also look like a free demo in your farm store or in your market booth. And that's where you're offering connection, like the book club I did that I talked about in the first part of this episode. We had hundreds of people in our Facebook group book club. Many of them will never pay me money because they don't live around here. And many of your customers or potential customers or your audience who watch your videos will never pay you money, but that's okay. You're providing value. So say you provide value to 1,000 people on Facebook or 1,000 people on your email list, you can expect that about 10% of them will buy from you. It's 100 people. We built a very successful, profitable farm on 100 weekly customers. It's so easy to get to, you guys. It's just numbers. Or you provide value to 10,000 people, and that will get you 1,000 people buying from you. So those are the numbers, the facts of the story. And those numbers will vary, of course, depending on what you're doing and what your average order is. But also, when you give people results ahead of time, you're going to increase your average order. But this is how I want you to look at it. I want you to learn to give free value, results ahead of time to as many people as possible, knowing that only a certain percentage of them will provide you value back in the form of money to buy your products. It's just how it works. There will always be a group of people who want more and will pay you for what you offer versus just the free tutorials, all right? So don't get worried about feeling resentful that you're giving all this stuff away free and not very many people are buying. It's just how it works. What you offer to all the people connects you with enough people that will pay you. And that makes up for all those who don't ever pay you. For instance, there are thousands and thousands of people listening to this podcast every month, but only a certain percentage of them will ever hire me for coaching or speaking or take one of my courses. And that's totally okay. You've got to be appreciative and grateful for all your readers, all your listeners, all the people watching your YouTube videos, even the ones who will never buy from you. You got to accept that this is how it is. So remember, when you are really good at marketing, you demonstrate that you can actually help people by helping them and giving them results ahead of time. I never stop offering results ahead of time. Okay? That Facebook group book club is a perfect example of that. It just goes on and on and on for our farm store customers. Okay, as always, if you're ready for the next step, you can consider coaching with me. That is at 3cowmarketing.com/strategy to set up a free strategy session to decide on investing in coaching. I take on about one new client a week. And the other part, the freebie I had for you at the beginning of this episode, the Inbox Zero training, is going to change your life. That is at 3cowmarketing.com/0. Sign up for that. Give it a try. You're going to be blown away at how wonderful you feel afterward. All right, you guys, go to iTunes and leave a review so I can have a new, fresh one to read next week. And I will see you next week. Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. For more great resources, check out theprofitablемindset.com. See you next time.